Welcome to this virtual open house regarding international educations in the Biotech City of Denmark, Kalundborg, and presented to you today by Technical University of Denmark, DTU, University of Copenhagen, and University College Absalon. My name is Lone, and I'm from the Communications Department of Absalon, and I will be your technical host of today. And therefore, I will begin with a bit of practical information before we move on to the program and presentations of the Biotech City and our Kalundborg educations. Here in Zoom webinar, you can see and hear us, the panel, but we cannot see you, the attendees. Only that you are here. We know you're here. You are, though, able to ask us questions along the way. But those should go in the Q&A at the bottom, because in a while I will just shut down the chat. So every questions you may have, you will put them in the Q&A function. Then we will try to answer them along the way, or after each presentation, there will also be a wrap-up of the questions. If your question is regarding a specific program or institution, please write that in the question so it's easier for us that the right persons will be able to answer it. Yes. We will in a minute also present to you the program, so you can see if there's something specific you will join us for, or if you will see it all, you can choose for yourself on that part. When you log out today, we will kindly ask you to answer a few questions. You will meet them at the logout about this event, as it's a first time for us joining together on this, so we can do even better in the future. That would be very kind of you. We are recording this session, and that means that in a day or two you will receive an email so you can revisit and see what was it that they said about this and that. So that will also be possible. For a start, I will shortly introduce you to the panel of today here on screen, and I will just start from my top and say hi to Kirsten from University of Copenhagen, and a Haldrup also from University of Copenhagen. Then we have Martina on my screen from Absalon. We have Elsa, who's a student at Absalon today. We have Maria from Absalon's admission office, and we have Martin from the Technical University, DTU. Yes, you will meet them even more. Yeah, now I will just share my screen here. I will just, because first I will just say a few words about Kalundborg. Because what is it that makes Kalundborg special in this in these areas? I will just like this, so we don't fit the whole screen. Kalundborg is called the Biotech City, and it is so because it comprises Scandinavia's largest biotech and process manufacturing cluster. In the Biotech City, you will find the world's largest insulin factory, the world's largest enzyme production, and the world's leading industrial symbiosis and Denmark's largest refinery. To just name a few of the companies and the industries and organization placed here. On top, the Biotech City holds an extensive follow-up industry of subcontractors and a growing ecosystem of small and mid-sized companies and startups. Companies includes companies like Novozymes, Christian Hansen, becoming Novonesis soon, Novo Nordisk, NNE, Unibio, Lundbeck, Meliora Bio, and that's again just to name some of them. And as the Biotech City's industry grows, the educational environment grows with it. That's why we're here today. Here on the map, you can see Zealand, part of Denmark, where you see Copenhagen on the east coast and Kalundborg on the west coast of Zealand. And that is approximately 1.5 hours drive by train or car. So the distances in Denmark is not that far. Denmark is leading the way for sustainable solutions in many areas, and one of them is Biosolutions. Region Zealand is the biggest Biosolutions hub in the north, and in a minute I will show you a video putting it a bit more words into this special thing about the Biotech City of Kalundborg, where the industry itself put a few words in that. In the video, you will also hear about the Kalundborg symbiosis, the world's first and largest industrial symbiosis, which is a unique partnership between public and private companies, putting one company's waste stream to use in another company's production. It is a way of creating sustainable productions, both environmentally and economically. The companies in this Biotech City, in this area, want to expand their international workforce. They are able and ready to have international employees, like that's you. So if you decide to apply for one of the programs you hear about today, you will also get access to exciting opportunities with these companies in the hub, both while you're studying and when you graduate and begin your careers. All of the programs that you hear about today are developed in collaboration with the companies in Scandinavia's largest biotech and process hub, and some of the companies I just mentioned. These companies need new knowledge and new ideas, and they're out there just waiting for you. So this really gives you, as a student, unique opportunities to collaborate with the companies during your studies, in terms of student jobs, internships, guest lecturers, etc. And of course, it gives you these great opportunities for the future. So with that said, the program of today, I will just show you this video in a minute, and then we will proceed to the presentations of each of these programs. The first of them being Absalon with a Bachelor of Engineering, and after that, there will be a DTU with the Industry Master of Science and Engineering, Biomanufacturing. And at the end, it will be the University of Copenhagen with the Master of Science in Biosolutions opening this year, actually. So if you want to join us on those, we will try to keep track with the time schedule. So we'll stop sharing here, and then I will share the video just to show you this idea of Kalundborg.
What makes Kalundborg a unique city to study in and work in is the relation between the industry and the schools, universities in the area. The symbiosis is something really special because it's a partnership where public and private companies work together, and the way that they work together is that they see all residue as a resource that can be used in another company. So what is a waste fraction or a residue in one company can be used as a raw material or an input in the neighbor company.
We are a biotech hub, and in fact the utility is also a biotech company because we use biology for all our purposes and all our processes. When we are taking new students in on projects, they have the opportunity to work with exactly what they find interesting. Doing that, of course, brings us also new knowledge. For instance, when we work together with Absalon, we work with mechanical engineering, and we have all the students are working here in one semester doing, for instance, artificial intelligence on our pumps. If international students are looking for a job in the biotech area, they should go and visit Kalundborg Utility. Then they will know what to do.
To be honest, it is one of the most wonderful experiences I have at Kalundborg Utility. Whenever people think about the wastewater, they say, oh, we don't want to do it. But I was always passionate about the environment, sustainability and recycling. And I got this opportunity to work with betterment of environment, also about the recirculation of nutrients. It actually means a lot for me. You are in touch with the company, you know what kind of the changes or the processes or advancements that are coming and how you can monitor it and how to optimize the processes. Here you can see how the industry works.
Developing in biotech engineering has been my main goal since the early days in my bachelor's degree. So when I found out that Kalundborg had such companies, Novozymes, Nordisk, Christian Hansen, biotech giants, basically that's what did it for me to start looking into Kalundborg. Doing my master's thesis project here in Kalundborg got me the chance to create a network in the very field that I was interested on, biotech. So when I was done with my studies, I straight away went knocking doors with the people that I had met. Now that I am working at NNE. I don't want to be cheesy, but it's how I imagined kind of my dream job. Working in solving engineering problems related to bioproduction. At the end, what I am doing right now is helping people get medicines.
It's absolutely necessary to look outside Denmark to recruit international talent, because the more diversity we have in the working force, the more opportunities we have. It's exactly the same story as with the symbiosis. Different companies provide different opportunities, and the more opportunities we have, the more we can be the key drivers of circular economy and green growth.
So, yes. So now we will move on in the program, and Martina will share her screen and do the presentation about the Bachelor of Engineering Biotechnology from Absalon.
Yes, thank you. I have to share screen here, and yeah, all the things have to be in place here. Yes, and today I'm here, very pleased to present our education in the biotech to you, and I have an ally, a student from Absalon. So I hope that you get inspired, and at the end of this presentation you ask questions. As Lone told you, you can ask questions in the Q&A. So please feel free to do that, and she will take care of whatever. Either she will bring them to me through this presentation, or we will take them at the end. So yes, we are located at Kalundborg, and as you saw now, hopefully you have a picture of the Biotech City and the possibilities also of the companies around us. And hopefully also you get the idea of why we have the biotech education in Kalundborg. So this is a map about the city, and I don't know if you can see my mouse, but this is the city and this is the harbor. And what this picture is intended to show is the companies. The green spots are the industry located around us, and we are just right here. So we are neighbors to all this industry you have been hearing about, and we are very happy about this because our program has a lot to do with the industry. So it's nice for our students that to be able to reach to the industry. This is, if you have any questions, so just let me know. This is the symbiosis. I don't see, I have to move some things here. This is the industrial, the world's first industrial symbiosis, as you heard, and we have a lot of companies that actually are making this a circular economy. Is very innovative way of working, and for our students or for the biotech students, it's a very nice way of get into the industry and work with companies, but also work within companies that work with other companies. So it's this of developing new ideas and getting into this sustainability and what the engineers are all about to create new solutions. Yes. These are some the areas that biotech. Sorry, it's just because I have this in the middle all the time. Our pictures. So I have some things I cannot see. Sorry. So these are some of the areas you can expect to work with when you study biotech. Is the food industry is a possibility, the pharmaceutical area also with the new medicines or either water treatment. This is a Kalundborg utility, gives you the opportunity to work with the contaminated water or microorganisms. So we have students having either study jobs or internships in this company. On the other hand, you also have environmental chemistry or energy optimization as a possibility. So this is meant for you to think, which area would you like to work with in the future? in Denmark. And these are the possibilities. Now I cannot change. Now I cannot change the slides anymore. I don't know why.
Click an extra time.
Oh, there. It didn't work before. So this is the possibilities you have if you started with a Bachelor of Engineering in Biotech. Is 3.5 years, the programs. And you can either go for further education at the university in Denmark or another university abroad. You can also go for a job. Our bachelor degree qualifies you to get a job. Also, not only in Denmark, but also in other places in the world. So it's a hands-on program which gives you a good baseline to have a job afterwards. Most of our students are going for working in the industry, but some of them are also getting a master degree.
Yeah, and we can say now it's getting even easier to do the master degree where you already have taken your bachelor, as both DTU and University of Copenhagen are offering these master degrees now in Kalundborg.
Yes. It's much easier now to stay in the city and have before you have to go to Copenhagen or another city in Denmark a bit more far away. So for our program is 3.5 years. You have an internship is 5 months, as is in the 6th semester, and you have to get is a job, you could say, in a company. Is a full-time work during these 5 months. You can often get paid if you, at least in companies in Denmark. We cannot guarantee that, and we cannot guarantee that you get paid if you go for an internship abroad. But most of the companies in Kalundborg offer this opportunity. At campus, we have a lot of different nationalities. We have 20 nationalities. I would say maybe a bit more these days than these 20. I think what I could see the last uptake last year, we had people coming from all over the world. In general, I would say for you, most of our students are coming from Europe. We have also from South America. We have some from Asia too. But in general, is biggest amount are from Europe. So for the size of the classes, we have around max 40 students. So it's a very nice, cozy environment. I think maybe Elsa, would like to invite you to set some your perspective on this. How do you experience the classes, Elsa?
As you said, they're like quite cozy. They're very similar to high school, in my opinion. They really remind me of high school, and it's not like you're like in a chair very far away from the teacher and it's just explaining. You can approach to the teacher whenever you need to, and we're also sitting this year in groups, which makes it even better to work when you have to work collaborative with people. And basically
yes. Yeah, we think it's very nice because you get this close relationship to each other, to the students, but also to the teachers. So you don't feel that if you have any questions, that it's very hard to get the answers. You can just go to your teachers or the students. So this is something that we can see is nice for most international students because the environment gets familiar. Then the way of teaching for maybe also from international students is a bit different because we have a lot of projects and dialogue-based work, and also very much hands-on work. You go to the lab and you work with your group, and is encouraging students to work in projects, to have a dialogue about what they're working with, and to have experience, because this is a way of working in Denmark, and this is something that we have to prepare students to be able to do this at the end, because after 3.5 years and after the internship, you will have with the internship, you'll get some experience in the industry, but it's very important that you understand the Danish industry, how it works. And in Denmark, it's a very flat structure. Everybody's included, more or less, of course, has to be relevant, but everybody has something to say. So it's important that you can work with each other. And of course, with this group and teams, it's also something that you can expect, at least if you stay in Denmark. This is the way everybody works in Denmark's industry. And we have a lot of local cooperation with the industry, because we have students going for internships, we have students going for bachelors in companies, so we know a lot of companies and they know our students. So this is something that is calculated in the education for them and also for us. And we also have companies giving lectures. And when can you expect to meet the companies, and when is the theory? This is the structure of the program. We have these 7 semesters, and the semesters except for the third semester, all of them starts with the projects. And these projects, you work with groups, and you have a case, or you have a lecture from the company. So this is why this sign of a company here. And the idea of the project is that already from the beginning, you start trying to solve some cases, problems, challenges, and at the same time, you use the theory you have in that semester. Maybe Elsa, how do you experience, now you finished your project 1, how did you experience that?
It was, I think for first semester is quite different from the next ones, because the first one can be a little bit more about research, which is also very important in the industry. You have to be informed, but it's what you said, we just take all the theory that we get from classes, from outside tutors, from our teachers, and then we apply it to what they want us to do. I still have yet to do the exam, so I cannot really tell, but I've done the report, and yeah, it's basically that. And then from second semester and on, I believe it's more practical, so you just mix theoretical and practical parts of the course, and that is when you show that you really applied the theory to any sort of problem or challenge they might ask you to do. So
Yes. Yeah, thank you. And of course, the projects there, as you mentioned, Elsa, of course, they change and they evolve, and they match the level you are in. So the first project normally is a project that also introduces students to work with the project.
exactly, yeah, it's more introductional, because you have to get familiar with the industry, with what is going on, with the processes and everything. So it's very informative. I think it's for you to get more in touch with what is going on further.
Yes. Yes. So, and then of course you have to go through the internship before you start your bachelor, and you have the electives. This is room for have some elective courses, and these elective courses are very important to consider if you're going for a master's degree. Then you have to figure out which courses, if you need a specific course to be qualified to go for a specific master. And we have some courses and different courses, and I know that we also have open the possibility that our students, if they take the correct or the elective that qualify them either for the Copenhagen University Master Biosolutions, but also the DTU Master. But I think the DTU Master is another type of master degree. I think Martin will explain a bit more about that.
Yeah. Martina?
Yeah.
Actually, now where we are at both the program and now the companies,
yes.
There's a question about that it's one who have heard that we should be able to work with the companies not only at the internship, and I think these projects are some examples of that. It's not every time that there's a project, there's a company combined, but of course it's something you make in the industry. But is there projects also with the companies along the way?
I know that the first project, or at least the last year's project, was, I don't know if Elsa, if you had the same, but it was the Novo's insulin production. You look at
it's the same thing.
Yeah, it's the insulin production. So in this way, you look at something that is already going on, and then you analyze this in a specific way, probably what the project or your group goes for. I know that some might be a case that the teachers present you for a case, and then you have to solve this case, and you have lectures, companies coming from the outside, having some lectures inspiring you, or maybe they're working something relevant to your case. So it's not that you always would go to companies. Maybe some of these projects would be that you would go for visiting a company and then you get an introduction about this. So the way you work with companies changes from one project to the other. And I wouldn't say that it's the same every year, because it might also change from year to year, depending of the teachers and depending of the companies. The idea is that these projects, they show you real cases or real situations that you will end working with at the end. So it's to update the students with reality in a way. So
yeah, and so for the first semester project, at least we did have lectures from outside tutors from Novo, or that used to work with Novo, and so they can tell us and like inform us what it's the real world about, and so you don't have everything to do just research on in the internet, because sometimes you don't really understand how is it done in real life. And so we had multiple lectures from outsiders, and they just told us how is it properly done in real world. So
yes, and these are some of the companies listed we work with. We have students going there for internships or bachelor, but also after they finish, they work in these companies. So maybe some of them you know, maybe you don't know. The rest you have the chance to Google if you have the time. Otherwise, you might get to know them later if you join some of these programs. About our program, we offer actually a mentor program for students. And the idea of this is to help the students, accordingly if they're in the second or fifth, sixth semester, to clarify some of the questions they might have. And this mentoring is a person from the industry that actually does this, volunteers to do this. And we contact, or we set, we match them together, companies and students interested, and the idea is that we guide them into a nice trust building, but also networking connection, and where the mentee, our student, gets the opportunity to ask questions and get inspired. And the questions might be, as it says here, the focus is in here, because we normally see these are the interest the students have at these semesters, but it could also be something else. The idea is that the students during the education, they get the chance to start looking to what is it that they're going to work with, or it could also be which program which I like to join if I would like to go to a master. Because if I have a conversation with an engineer in, I don't know, Novo Nordisk, they might inspire me to go this way in a biosolution, maybe a master degree, or maybe another mentor can inspire our students to go for another master type. So it's the idea of say, hey, which career opportunities are there? What can I work with? The choices you have after you are finished with the bachelor degree, or maybe just go for a job. So in general, this well, nice to know. This is the minimum wage for an engineer according to the Danish society. So it's quite a lot. And then we have listed some of the titles. I mean, we can see our students are employed with these titles. It could be a production engineer, a quality engineer, process engineer, project manager, or development engineer. So it depends, of course, of the tasks, but we can see that these are the possibilities most of our students get after. I think that's it. I don't know if you have anything else. I think this is a general. And of course, if you are thinking, oh, it could be interesting, I would like to, then you need to know that math is a requirement. You need to have math. And if you are now thinking, oh, I don't know if I have the correct level or so forth, then you have to contact our admission office and they will help you with this. Of course, you have to want to learn about biotech. English, of course, is a requirement. We have a standard professionalism, a high professionalism, and of course, you would like to solve problems. I think the idea of engineers is Engineers are people that are curious and like to solve problems and see like problems like challenges to solve. So this is something, this is a mindset you have to think is something for you. And I know that it says here 41 hours a week. This is also with the projects, with the homework. I think you don't have to think that you are going to sit from 41 hours a week. But and maybe Elsa, for you, it's not that you're sitting all the time. You work very much in groups and you like move around. You go to the lab, you have some theoretical classes. So this 41 is in general. And most of the students' questions, I think, is do I have the time to have a social lab afterwards? So Elsa, do you have time to have a social lab with so many hours?
You definitely do.
Yeah.
You do, and especially first semester. I don't know about other countries, but we learned this first semester, half of it at least, all of us kind of knew. If you come straight from high school, it's really easy to catch up, and just a few things are new, so you don't really need to, like, there's no need to be studying 6 hours a day before, like, after school. No, you can totally have your free time, your spare time. Of course, you still have to study, but there's time for everything. You have free time, you have time even for work. There's a lot of people who work. I also work, and there's time for everything. So yeah.
Yeah, and we of course recommend the students to show up for classes and to be there, because this is also then it gives you the possibility to go for a job and so forth, so you don't have to do everything alone at home. This is a requirement also because you have a lot of hands-on and working projects, so this means that you have to show up in classes.
10 minutes left, Martina.
And I think this is our campus. We have 3 educations in our campus. We have bioanalytics, mechanical engineers, and the biotech program. The biotech program being the only one in English. It's next to the industry. It's new. It's 2 years old. The building is 2 years old. We didn't have so many trees in that picture. Now the trees are arrived, so we have some trees out there. And it's a nice place, nice building, new building with very modern laboratory facilities too. I think it's for our students is nice. There's a canteen, you can buy food. And then we have this social life also we were mentioning before. So the students get to be social. We have introductions day. There are a lot of social things around. Also for the new students, we have a tutor. So we offer the possibility to onboard new students in a good way. I don't know, Elsa, if you have any comment to this?
No, just regarding for the tutors, it was really helpful, at least for everyone that I heard of. It's really helpful to have someone from other years that have already experienced what you're experiencing right now, and they really do help because they've been going through the same thing as you're going to go through. So it's really helpful, and they're not teachers. There's someone, they're students. You can reach out to them whenever you want, and even for me, they were friends. So it's really nice to have them.
And in general,
and introduction days are also nice.
Yeah, and in general, as a student, you have the chance to engage yourself into different type of things if you wish to be a part of something social is open for the students. So yeah, and accommodation. I think Elsa, you live in Copenhagen. This is a picture of the.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
There's a possibility to live in this Kalundborg Copenhagen. There are nice rooms, new rooms. Some students live there. You have to go to this homepage. Otherwise, if you go to the municipality homepage, you will find, I think maybe this is Go to Kalundborg. I don't know if you could put it in the chat, Lone, but it's Go to Kalundborg. You can have the chance to contact some people in the municipality. They will very much like to help you to find a place to stay. Otherwise, our students, Elsa, is also somebody you can contact and ask. Life as student. Yeah. What do you think, Elsa? I think why this program, the study start? I don't know if you have any of these questions, mix of theory and practice. So
You basically said a lot, most
Yeah,
of it.
I think we actually
You
had all.
covered everything, yeah, but just
Yeah.
to mention the study start, if anyone doesn't know what it is, it's just like at the beginning of the course, especially first semester and international people, they start a bit before everyone else, so they can get to know each other, and it's not that overwhelming to just going straight to campus with everyone else and not knowing anything, and you get familiar at least with your class or the people you're going to be with, and you get to know your tutors, which also are going to help you, and the campus, and a little bit of the teachers. And then we have like some sort of games, so you can get to know each other basically.
And the only thing I would add, and I mentioned before, is this: we have a very tight and link between theory and practice. It's very important for our program that you get experience with what you work.
I think we should.
So yeah, I think you can. I think this is something is possible to go abroad and get a semester or something. But I think this is a possibility, and I wouldn't mention anything. If you join the program, you will get this information. The Helix Lab, I don't know if you would like to say something.
Just shortly, we are placed, Absalon is placed right next to Helix Lab. Helix Lab is an educational center, you can say, where you can do your master thesis from different universities around Denmark and stuff. So you can become a fellow there if you're doing a master's in Denmark. But very nice facilities right next to campus. And again, if you join us, you will learn a lot more about that part. But you also saw it on the back of the guy in the video, and that's because he has been a Helix Lab fellow as well. Yep.
Admission requirements. I don't know if Maria maybe will take it.
Yeah, I'll do it quickly. Just to say, because you're from very many different countries, so it's I can't mention all of them. You need to have an upper secondary degree, which is high school level. And with that, you need mathematics, physics, chemistry, and English. You need to have them corresponding to some Danish levels. And to be able to evaluate that, you need to show that your school needs to give some kind of documentation where we can see how many teaching hours you've had during your secondary degree, not during your whole school time, just during your secondary degree. So with your application, you have to send a verification form. You can find it on our website. Send in a verification form that is filled out by your school. They have to stamp and sign it. So we can evaluate how many hours you've had and to see how many what your levels are in the different subjects. And if you have any questions, you're welcome to write to us at admissions. I think there's one more slide.
Yes.
Just practical about where to apply. You apply at optagelse.dk. You can apply from the 1st of February. Your deadline as international students is the 15th of March at noon. It doesn't mean that you have to have your exams finished by the 15th of March. It just means that you have to have your application in by that time. So you might have summer exams, but you have, if your exams are not done by the 5th of July, we can make a conditional admission, so you can hand your documentation in by the 1st of September at the latest. This can be very confusing, so you're of course again welcome to contact us. And when you make your application, it's very, very, very important that you look up on nemstudio.dk. This is where your application is. This is where we contact you if we have any questions, if there's anything we need from you. We will contact you via nemstudio.dk. So you have to log in once in a while to see if there's any news. This is also where you will get your reply if we can offer you admissions. So it's important that you log in to see what's going on, so you don't miss a message from us.
Yes, thank you, Maria. I think that's it from us. Lone?
Yeah, I think we will click through and then we'll take some of the questions. Some will be answered in text and some we will take in here. I saw one question while at these practical stuff about tuition. It's actually, there's no tuition fee if you're an EU citizen, but if you're from outside of Euro or likewise, it costs it has a fee. But European citizens is with no tuition fee. I can just say that one. But yeah, we don't do scholarships at Absalon, so that's a part. Yeah, but is there more slides, Martina?
I don't think. Well, these are the students. You can contact our ambassadors.
Yeah.
So these two are. If you don't get, I mean, the information you don't get here, Lone will send everything to you. The presentation, so you will have everything. And this is
the video afterwards as well.
Yeah, exactly. And this is a possibility you have to just chat with our ambassadors, and they are there for answering questions about the program, but also about how it is to move into Kalundborg, how to find a place to stay, and so forth. So feel free to contact them, and they will help you. I mean, they're happy to help you. And I think that's it from us.
Yeah, and then we have question time now.
Yeah.
So because there are different sorts of questions, I think Maria, you will do some of them. But we could start with Elsa actually, because there's one asking, how is it, could a first semester student actually obtain a job? Is that even possible coming as an international? I have a few words on that from a start, and then you can supply and say if your fellow students or yourself have a job. What you should be aware of is, of course, that living in Denmark is not a cheap thing. I think Elsa can agree.
Yes.
So it's good not to start from scratch here, but to have some savings with you so you don't have to work as the first thing. Also to say that you are perhaps in a whole new country, and it's also important that you can, meet your fellow students, join some events, and settle in a good way and find furniture, whatever is important and in the beginning. But being now half year in the studies, Elsa, do any of you have a job?
I do have a job. I just started in January, and what I wanted to say is that it is possible to get a student job as first semester, but it's not common. So you should bear in mind that you have the opportunity, but it may not happen to be your case, because all of us first semester, or at least the majority of my class, have applied, and maybe, I don't know, 10 people, 7 people got the final job. So it is possible, but the university makes it very easy. We actually have this thing around November or so.
Matchmaking event?
Yeah, the matchmaking event, which is basically the company Novo Nordisk sends to the university some sort of new job positions they might have free for us, and you can apply to them, at least one of them or maximum 3, and you should do a cover letter and send them your CV and stuff, and then they might contact you to do like a quick interview. And so if they like you have like a 15-minute interview, then they might contact you and be like, okay, you have a student job. And yeah, so it's very nice to have a student job, but again, it's not everyone's case to have it on first semester. And it is possible, but now that we're a lot of people, it becomes a bit more difficult when you're less people, I will say. And then the payments are I think they're enough for you to cover maybe your rent or so. But as Lone said, I think you should first settle in, have some savings, buy furniture, and then maybe around like half or like some first semester on, you could start applying to jobs, I would say.
Yeah. Then there was a question about how many Asian students we have at the moment. I don't have the numbers exactly, we cannot say that, but I know that we have people from Asia. Maria, will you, were there some general questions here we should take into?
There was some questions about the hours. I think because we mentioned the hours in the section about the levels, how many hours you're supposed to have in mathematics, chemistry, physics, and English. I think people are worried if they don't have the correct levels. It is important to have the correct levels to be able to meet the admission requirements. There are ways to supplement. So if, for example, if you need extra hours in mathematics, we recommend an OMPT test. You could do a B or a D, I think, to kind of supplement the hours. It's an online test. You do an online course and then you can take a test. Of course, you have to pass the test for us to accept it with minimum 50% correct. But that is a way to supplement the hours if you don't have enough in mathematics. If you don't have enough hours in English, you can do a TOEFL test or a IELTS test. And you can send that along with your application. Physics and chemistry, you will have to look up what options you have locally. In Denmark, you can do it at the school you've usually taken your secondary degree. You can supplement. So if there is an option like that in your country, you are welcome to send that as extra documentation. But we do stress that you meet the hours as closely as possible. To meet the requirements. Yeah, I don't know if there's anything else.
Then we'll about the Cambridge examination, perhaps.
Yeah, I'll have to about what you say, Maria, because somebody's asking if if the hours are counted from the first year in high school, or is only the third year.
Yeah. No, it's during high school, but high school is different from country to country. Sometimes it's 2 years, sometimes it's 3. Some countries have 4 years, but it has to be during your high school degree. But yes, we do count all the years you've taken your high school degree, but not before then. So you can't count it before then. Has to be during your secondary degree. Yeah. The Cambridge test, we prefer the other two. If you already have the Cambridge test and it's only a supplement to the hours that you have, we can look at it, but we do prefer the other two. So if you haven't taken the test yet, but you feel like you have to supplement, look into the other two tests. We would prefer those. Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, there's some different about those, the TOEFL
test. Yeah.
Yeah, it said, so I don't need to go to the TOEFL if I have 306 hours of English, for example.
Nope. I will just stress that for some students, they do have issues in the beginning just because they are not used to speaking English all the time. So the test is a good way to kind of practice if you want to, but it's not necessary. You will get into the groove of it really quickly, but for some they do struggle a little bit in the beginning just because everything's in English. Yeah, it's good to have a brush up course if you want to.
Actually, now we're at the language thing. We should also mention that when you come from abroad to Denmark, you're offered, and we highly encourage that you take Danish course. Actually, you can learn Danish for free. You put 2,000 Danish crowns from the beginning, but when you finish the courses and the modules, you actually get the money back. It's a deposit, and it's a big asset for you. Also, actually, just expanding your possibilities of job during and along the way. You can write about that on our webpage as well. Yeah, and then there's one about IB schools. Maria, what happens if I'm in IB schools at an IB and I don't have the opportunity to course chemistry and physics at the same time?
Yeah, that is an issue for some students. Unfortunately, it's a requirement. So you do have to have physics and chemistry. So you will have to see if you can do some supplement. Maybe you won't be able to apply for admissions this year. You'll have to wait a year if you have to take an extra course. I don't know if IB sometimes has that as an option, but it's mandatory. So you have to have physics, you have to have chemistry. So it's not something that you can only do one. You have to have both. So yeah, unfortunately, that's yeah, you'll have to figure that out on your own and see if you can make it work somehow.
Yeah. If I say Europass, is that a thing that ring a bell, Maria? It says here, do you accept diploma in form of student's curriculum Europass?
I haven't seen Europass. I don't know what. Oh, is that the Euro? There's a Euro baccalaureate as well. So the IB and the EUB, I think it's called. I don't know if that's the one, but we do accept that one as well. So if it is that one, yes, we do accept.
Again, please write admissions office for the correct answer with your specific, and then write.
Yeah, we can't do all countries now. No. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. Different. Maybe you know that, Elsa. Are you doing Danish courses?
I am not doing.
But do you have fellow students, perhaps? Because if there's different levels to join Danish lessons, or maybe Martina knows.
Yeah, I know that. Yes, you can do that. Normally they give you a test, and if you know, I can imagine you're asking, but maybe you know Danish a bit, and they will put you in a course with other students at the same level. Thus, they struggle to do that at the language school.
Yes. Yeah.
You would also be informed from the school, like the language school. They will come to you first days and they will tell you everything about it. So
they're always here from the beginning to help you get good into this system as well. Yeah. I think the rest of the questions, because now it's actually time for a little break before the next ones, but Maria will answer in text, I believe. And again, wrapping up here from Absalon, at the end of today, there will also be a possibility to ask questions when we wrap up after all of the presentations, but also tomorrow you will get an email with contact information to get further. There were also some questions about pictures from the dome from the Kalundborg Collegiate, and I think the web page is actually not working well right now. Elsa is sitting right in the, so that's the gallery for now. Yeah, that's the thing. But you can also see some of our ambassadors on the web page are living there as well, so you might ask them. Yeah.
I might also say about the collegiate, the current prices are up in the website are not the current prices. So you might as well just contact them or call them or either text them.
Yeah, it's a good tip.
And I want to add some questions about master degrees. If you stay here, then you can have the answer to those questions, because we are not going to answer those questions.
No, the master degree, and I can see both Martin, Kirsten, Anna has answered some of the ones who have already been there. But yeah, again, the next up is DTU at 7 here. Yeah, and yeah, while we are at the break here, we could just ask if it's difficult to get accommodation, like in any university city. It is it's not easy to just find somewhere to live. You have to start early and look around but again, the municipality will help you a lot. Go to kalundborg.dk. I put in a link earlier in the chat. They will do their very best to get everyone on board for study start to somewhere to live. Yeah. I think that's so nice with all of these questions. We will just stick here, but Absalon is here in the break, but at 7, DTU will take over, do their presentation. In the meanwhile, we'll see if there's a question we should round up here.
There is a relevant question,
Yeah.
Lone. I think this is because the Bachelor is so close related
Yeah.
to Danish companies, if possible
That-
after the Bachelor to expand abroad, or if it's better to stay in Denmark for the Masters. Well, that depends what you would like to do, I think, but
Yeah, I think it's different what people do. A lot of our students stay in Denmark, is our experience so far. The education started in 2017, so you can imagine it's not that many rounds, but most have either gone to a job or do a master degree in Denmark, DTU or otherwhere, KU, where people would like, and some will also go abroad. So yeah, like Martina showed it, you can go either way. Yeah.
someone is asking here if the Bachelor degree is accepted worldwide, and yes, it is.
Yeah, and I think it's Maria for the rest here. About the acceptance, we cannot give the acceptance before the 28th of July. I know it's a short notice when you have to start 1st of September, but it's a national thing in Denmark. Everyone gets their answer on 28th of July. And while waiting for you, Martin, you might read one of the longer questions, and you might already have an answer for that when you present, but I can see it. We've got some master's degree. And you have it in the back.
Yeah, I will talk more about the prerequisites for the DTU Master's Education in Kalundborg, but I don't think that you would qualify with a master's degree in mathematics. You would need a bachelor's degree in chemical engineering or biotechnology or something similar.
Yeah, and in a few minutes, we will move on to the DTU presentation of the new master's program that started this summer in Kalundborg, DTU. So, DTU is on. And you're welcome to begin, Martin.
Thank you, Lone. Yes, so my name is Martin, and I'm an associate professor at the DTU at the Department of Chemical and Biochemical Engineering. And I will present to you about the opportunities that we have for a master's education in Kalundborg. So yeah, first of all, thank you for joining, and I would say a few words about DTU in general. And my slide does not change. Sorry about. Here we go. So the mission of DTU is actually the same mission as it's always been since the foundation of DTU by Hans Christian Ørsted, who was the discoverer of electromagnetism, is that DTU develops and creates value through the technical and natural sciences for the benefit of society. And this has been the mission throughout the decades. We are quite proud of our ranking levels in different rankings, especially in the Nordic region. DTU is ranking very highly among the technical universities, and also in Europe and in the world. Our levels are quite high. DTU has a total of about 15,000 students, so it's not a big university as such. But it's only you can say it's a mono-faculty university. So there's only there's the director, and then there's only one dean now for all the educations. So all the educations are related to technical and natural sciences. Among the students, about a third are women, but it's also a very international university. We have students from more than 100 countries. And at the moment, we have about 4,000 students in our so-called Bachelor of Engineering programs, and also a little more than 4,000 students in our Bachelor of Science in Engineering programs. And then we have an even larger fraction of the student bodies in our master's educations, and among those master students, almost half are international students. And then, of course, we also have PhD programs. So DTU has 32 master's programs, and the one that I will be talking about today is our chemical and biochemical engineering master's education, where we now have a study line which are taught in Kalundborg. In general, you can do what is called industry masters in engineering at DTU, where you combine work with studies, making it a 4-year master's program. And this is available on all our master's programs except these 3 ones mentioned here. And the conditions are that you have a job which is relevant to your studies, where you work at least 25 hours per week on an average, or on a yearly average. You may even be self-employed or in a startup company. And one thing that is important to mention is that it's essentially due to Danish immigration and work and residence permit laws, only relevant for EU or European Economic Zone citizens. So that's something related to because your residence permit will be based on your job. So today I will talk to you about this study line that is called Biomanufacturing, which is a study line under the existing chemical and biochemical engineering master's education. And this study line is headed by myself as the study line coordinator, and then my colleague Jakob Husum, who's the head of studies for all of the chemical and biochemical engineering master students. So Biomanufacturing is a master level education in chemical engineering. We have a focus on chemical and biochemical production development and production control. And the goal is to meet the needs of the Danish chemical and biochemical industry, particularly the companies located in Kalundborg. And we think that we have a number of benefits for students that you can work and study simultaneously. It gives a high degree flexibility and exciting career prospects, and it's within a rapidly growing field. There's a high job security after the education is finished, and at the same time, it's an education which is fully equivalent to the existing master's degree in chemical and biochemical engineering. The educational profile is based on these 5 pillars, which are sort of fundamental skills and competences within chemical engineering, which are reaction engineering, unit operations and separations technology, process design, process operation, and model-based analysis, so that is mathematical modeling of chemical processes. And our whole education taught in Lyngby in the Copenhagen area have the same pillars, and then just one more, which is product design. So if you're very interested in product design, then maybe this is not the study line. But otherwise, 5 of the 6 pillars are the same. The educational structure at the DTU is now based on this target model, or some would say the DTU reinvented the wheel. All master's educations follow this, that they will have 50 ECTS credits of program-specific courses. Then there's 30 ECTS of elective courses, which can be any course at the master level, in principle, from any university. And then there's 30 ECTS, so 1 semesters for the master thesis work. And then we have 5 ECTS for the so-called Polytechnic Foundation, which are courses that all master students at DTU will follow. In the biomanufacturing program, we have made a study plan that contains these courses taught over the 8 semesters that it takes during 4 years. And these are, of course, derived from the 5 pillars of the education. So there are courses for instance, in reaction engineering, in mathematical modeling, in downstream processing, that's also separation processes from fermentation based production. Then there's a course called Innovation in Engineering, which is a part of the Polytechnic Foundation. So this is a big course, typically with more than 800 students, that all master students at DTU have to do during the education. Then we have an elective course with a project related to downstream processing in collaboration with the companies in Kalundborg. Then we have other modeling courses such as transport phenomena, which is also a mathematical modeling course, a course in instrumentation, process control, and digitalization. And then a core chemical engineering course in process design and retrofit risk assessment. Then there's another course called Quantitative Sustainability, which is the second Polytechnic Foundation course that all master students do. And then we have another project course, which is one of the elective courses. And then we have not completely finalized the study plan yet, but we'll have a course in unit operations laboratory, where you will come to the campus, the DTU campus in Lyngby, and do some pilot scale laboratory exercises. Then there will be a course on GMP, and then we have still a course that we have to decide exactly what we will fill this course with. Then there's a final elective project course, and then you will do the master thesis in collaboration with the company. And this you can do either in 1 semester full-time, or over 2 semesters part-time. The yearly schedule for this program is quite different from other programs that we have intensive courses. So each of these block here, this represents week number 35. So the start of the autumn semester at DTU. And then you have the years 1, 2, 3, and 4. And a blue box here will represent a 5 ECTS course that you follow for 3 weeks and finalize with the exam and everything within the 3 weeks. And then there's a week break where you work in the company, and then there's another 5 ECTS course, a couple of weeks break, and then a course for 7.5 ECTS credits before the Christmas break. And then in January or the first year, you will follow one of the Polytechnic Foundation courses, and then from February to March at the project. And then there's a longer period from sort of the middle of March all the way to the next semester start typically in late August or beginning of September, where you work full time in the company. And then you can see that the year 2 is completely mirrored in the schedule, and that's because year 1 and year 2 are co-taught. So that if we jump one slide back, these numbers here in parentheses, that means that the students that started in 2023 would have this program as their first semester and this program as their third semester, whereas students starting in 24 will have this program here as their first semester and this as their third semester, and so on. Yeah, and then in the end, with the year 4, you study you complete the thesis project work either as a full-time load in one semester or as a half-time load across the 2 semesters, and then graduate as a master in chemical engineering. The program prerequisites are that you have an admission requirements are equivalent to having a Bachelor of Science degree or Bachelor of Engineering degree in chemical engineering. That means that you have a strong working knowledge of mathematics and natural sciences. Approximately 1 semester's mathematics, about 1 to 2 semesters of natural sciences, including chemistry, physical chemistry, and typically also some basic bioscience. And then basic knowledge of chemical and biochemical engineering, such as process technology or mass and heat transport. It's a little bit different what different universities call these courses. Courses in chemical reaction engineering and or fermentation technology, and some courses in mathematical modeling of chemical or biochemical processes and equipment. And specifically, you must have a sort of mathematics 2 course. Many universities have a basic math course, and then a sort of a follow-up or advanced math course. And at DTU, it's called Advanced Engineering Mathematics 2. And you must have a course similar to that, or you have to take that at DTU before you start the education.
Martin?
Yes?
Oh, you're not. Yeah, it's because there was a question here. Do you have to have a specific age to get enrolled? Is that a need? Because
No, there's no age
it's
requirement. No, the prerequisites are only academic. There's nothing about age. Yeah. And specifically, if you have the Bachelor of Engineering degree in Biotechnology from Absalon, you will be qualified if you have taken the electives Mathematics 2 and Reactor Technology. So out of these 4 electives that you can follow during the degree at Absalon, 2 of them have to be this Mathematics 2 and Reactor Technology in order to directly qualify for this Biomanufacturing Masters at DTU. If you do not do this Mathematics 2, it is possible to do the DTU version, the Advanced Engineering Mathematics 2 course in August, prior to starting the education in Kalundborg. But this is taught in Lyngby, not in Kalundborg, so in the Copenhagen area, for 3 weeks in August. The application deadline for master's education at DTU is 1st of March each year for study start in the autumn. but we do have the possibility for late applications until May. It should not say for international students, actually it should say for EU or EEA students, and until the 31st of July for Danish students. And you have to make an application in the application portal called Dans, and you can find links to the application portal on the DTU website, where you can also read about prerequisites, how to apply, and after application and so on. You can find all of these steps on the DTU website. And there's also some English language requirements. You can also find these. There's different English tests that you can have, and several of them are accepted at DTU. Specifically for the biomanufacturing industry masters, the admission procedure is that you should apply DTU first, and DTU then, after receiving the application, we will try to give you an evaluation approximately within 2 weeks. And if you're qualified for the biomanufacturing education, you will receive a so-called conditional admission letter. That is your proof that if you find a relevant part-time job, you will be admitted to the education. So the next step after receiving the conditional admission letter from DTU is to apply for a job. So start by applying to DTU, and we will post links to job offers related to the education at the dtu.dk/biomanufacturing website. But of course, you can also apply to other companies, or if you already work in another company, this can also be relevant. It doesn't have to be the companies where you can find job offers at our website. But the position must be relevant for the chemical engineering education. And the average workload must be minimum 25 hours per week on a yearly average. At the moment, the collaborating companies, all located in Kalundborg, are Novo Nordisk, Novozymes, which will be Novo Nordisk, Novo Nordisk Engineering, abbreviated NNE, and a smaller company called Unibio. But yeah, I should mention you can be employed at other companies as long as the position is relevant for the education. In 2024, the expected uptake is that Novo Nordisk will hire 20 students, Novozymes 4 to 5, NNE about 3, and Unibio 1, which totals 28 to 29 students. But it is possible for DTU to admit 40. So if you find if you can convince the companies to hire you, and you are qualified at DTU, and the position is relevant, then you can be admitted. And then finally, latest 2 weeks before study start, which is in 2024, is the 14th of August. You must document employment in a study line relevant position, and this you do by submitting this form to DTU. Finally, if you have admission related questions, so questions related to the admission portal or admission procedure and so on, you can contact one of these 2 emails, depending on if you have your bachelor degree from Denmark or you have a bachelor degree from outside of Denmark.
Martin, is the portals open? Can you apply already now, or because
Yes.
actually we forgot to say that in our system it's 1st of February you can apply for.
Yes, the portal is open. It opened here on the 16th of January.
Perfect.
So it is possible to apply right away. And in the portal, you should look for chemical and biochemical engineering under the industry masters heading, and then for the industry masters with study place in Kalundborg. So we cannot call it biomanufacturing in the application portal, unfortunately, due to that it's not an individual education; it's a study line. But look for industry masters in chemical and biochemical engineering and study place Kalundborg.
Yes.
And that was it from my side. So I'm happy to take any questions you might have.
Yeah, I can say there's one about, one is asking, either a student having a Master of Philosophy in Fermentation Biotechnology can apply, is the question, I think. Is that possible?
Yes, that sounds like a relevant education. So yes, I would say that.
But if any doubt, of course, contact the
That's also why you should apply DTU first, because then we will evaluate your application and also, for instance, let you know if you need to upgrade your level in math and so on. That then, yeah, then you have that opportunity.
Yes. So now there's question time. If there's others who would like to ask questions. I don't know, Martin. You had a little. I don't know, what do you call it. You had the first one started this summer.
Yes, the
So,
first year, the first cohort of students started this summer. Yes.
Yeah. So, and they are they in different companies today, or how does it work here? Of course, now it's
Yes.
all starting. So.
Yes. So they are in those 4 companies here. Novo Nordisk, 2 of them, Novozymes 1, NNE 2, and Unibio also 1 this year.
So if
So
you.
all the companies are represented.
Yeah. So if you start this summer, there's a big chance that you will actually meet some of the ones who are already in the.
Yes, absolutely.
program.
And they are also planning some study start events for the next for the new students.
Cool.
So yes, there will be some contact with the current, and of course, as I said, the first year and the second year will be co-taught in what is their third and first semester. So you will actually follow the courses together with the first year students if you start this year.
Yeah.
And 2 of those 6 have the bachelor degree from Absalon.
Yeah.
And 1 has come directly from Greece and moved to Kalundborg this summer. And then there's 1 who's from a bachelor degree from DTU, and 1 with a bachelor degree from the University of Aarhus, so another university in Denmark. And then there's one who has a qualifying degree from Syria, but has a residence permit in Denmark.
So actually a lot of different ways into this program.
Yes.
Nice. Should see questions now. I could also add that Kalundborg as a student city is also continuously growing and making events across the different studies and education and institutions. Also, especially in the study start, there will be events hosted by the city and stuff across.
Yes, then I can see there's one question about links for where to apply. I would suggest rather than starting where to apply is to go to our landing page at dtu.dk/biomanufacturing, where you can read about the education first, and then you will also find the links on how to apply.
Yeah. And if you after today think, oh, I cannot find anything, then there will go, as told, an email out within the next few days here. We'll link for this video, but also with direct links into our different programs on web. So should be no doubt to where to dive in.
But I should mention again that at the moment we can only admit EU students because and European Economic Zone students because it will be the job which will be the basis for your residence and work permit in Denmark, and you have to receive a certain salary if you are non-EU citizen, and that's simply not possible with a 24/5 hours job unless you can convince the companies to give you a very high salary. and that is something which is it's due to Danish residents and what's it called, immigration laws. So it's something that is outside the decision of DTU and the companies as such. But of course, we push the government to change those laws and rules. But
sometimes takes more time than we would like it to. And there's not any more questions, it seems. Let's still keep here. Yeah, we can have a few minutes more, but and else then there will be a break until Copenhagen University will be on later on here at 7:45. So do you know, Martin, have they moved to Kalundborg? You said that a couple of the students are now in the program. They are living in Kalundborg and moved
yes,
to Kalundborg.
as far as I know, 2 of them already lived in the Kalundborg area because they had the degree from Absalon.
Yeah.
2 moved to Kalundborg and 2 lived in the Copenhagen area and are commuting to Kalundborg.
Yeah. And what we can say is that the train goes directly from Copenhagen to Kalundborg. There's actually a train stop near the campus area, near the whole industry area. So it's pretty easy to come here. Public transporters and
At the moment, the education is taught at what is called Processkolen, which is a few hundred meters from Absalon.
Yeah.
But in the longer future, we hope that there will be a whole new master's degree educational building shared between both DTU and University of Copenhagen and also other partners right next door from Absalon. But that's hopefully in 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at studying at Absalon first and then DTU later, this might be where you will be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot is going on in that area, and we are hoping to see a huge campus area within a few years. And about this, that it's a couple of 100 meters away, we could say this little curiosity thing about Danes is that we bike a lot. So a lot of students also from the beginning get a bike. So then, the distance is nothing in Kalundborg.
That's also what my students tell me. It's that it's convenient. If you have a bike, you can get everywhere within the Kalundborg area in about 10-15 minutes.
Yeah. So doesn't seem there's more questions. I think you were around it all, Martin, then?
All right.
Yeah. So then we'll just have a break, I think, here. But we will stick to the plan so people who are joining just for Copenhagen University also can be here from the beginning of the presentation. And that will be at 7:45 that it begins. But you can just stop your, there's might be a question. One is asking, Martin, I don't understand when I have to present the documentation. Was it the 14th of August or how was that?
Yes, so maybe I should have been more clear about this. So firstly, if you get the conditional admission letter from DTU, you can use this as documentation when you apply for jobs in companies that you will be admitted to DTU once they give you the job. And then you have to document to DTU that you did in fact get the job. And that's 2 weeks before the semester starts. So this year, that's the 14th of August. So yeah, that's when you have to do the documentation.
Yes. Right.
But we expect that the companies will only invite for job interviews once you can present this conditional admission letter. So it's sort of like providing documentation to one place and then afterwards documentation towards DTU again. But unfortunately, we have to do it in this because we cannot share or exchange personal information about applicants between the companies and DTU. So you have to yourself make an application at both places.
But it has not been a problem for the ones starting this year. It was inaccessible.
Well, we are hoping that I will not say no to that, but of course it was possible to apply, but because it was the first year, we had some a bit of troubles. So now we are hoping that this year we have it a good procedure, because it was new for everyone, both the companies having meeting the candidates and considering hiring them, and also at the same time getting admission to the university.
Yeah.
So that's why I stress now that you apply DTU first, and we only evaluate your academic qualifications, and then with the companies, they will have other things that they look at too.
Yeah, so in that way it can run more smooth then.
Yeah. So and the companies want to be sure that you are admitted to DTU once they provide you the job. Yeah.
Right. Now I don't think there's more questions. You, Martin?
All right. And otherwise, my contact information is also at the landing page at dtu.dk/biomanufacturing. So you're always welcome to contact me by email.
Right.
All right. With this, I will stop the sharing and
Bye-bye.
take the break.
Do that. And maybe some have just joined, etc., because they are looking into, they want to see the presentation from Copenhagen University, University of Copenhagen, who is starting this new master this year in Biosolutions. And they will start at 7:45, so everyone can be on board that has seen the program, which have also been sent out with the reminders this week. So now there's a little break and time for getting some coffee and something to drink or some sweets and get settled. I can try and answer. There's a question here. How many hours in a week is work allowed to a bachelor student? So if we're talking to one studying a bachelor at Absalon, if that is the question, it's not like there's a specific amount of hours that you are allowed to work. There can be some SU rules. We will not go into those, but there will be SU counseling, because that can be something about what you have to work to get SU. I don't know if that's the question, but of course we don't suggest that you work all the time, because it's also tough studies. So you also have to prepare and be with your study group, etc. But in that matter, you're also very welcome to contact our student ambassadors at our webpage, asking about their experiences, both themselves or their fellow students, how much they have time and mental load for working next to the studies. We'll just share the program so people joining us can see that we're not gone, but we'll start at 45. University of Copenhagen. nice to see that there's still a lot of people hanging out here, ready to hear about University of Copenhagen, what they have to offer in Kalundborg. Just in a minute, and yeah, actually, you can just hit it. Anna and Kirsten.
Okay, thank you. And welcome to all your students for joining this late open house. My name is Anna Haldrup, and I'm head of Department of Food Science at the University of Copenhagen, and I will, together with study leader Kirsten Jørgensen from Department of Plant and Environmental Science at the University of Copenhagen, try to present our brand new master in Biosolutions that will run for the first time here in September 24. So can I change slides? Kirsten, can you change for me?
Yes, I try.
Okay. Sorry. Next, please. Yeah. Okay. So what we're going to tell about is what is biosolution. Perhaps you know, perhaps you don't know. It's a new term, you can say. And why is biosolution a game changer? And the need for candidates in this area, the industry really asks for candidates. So it's very, very good job opportunities. Then we'll tell about the study program and why we have placed it in Kalundborg. And then what's the requirement for admission and application. So next, please. Yes, so first, what is a biosolution? What's biosolutions? So in biosolution, you combine biology with technology and using the nature's toolbox. So it's in its essence, it's a multidisciplinary approach where you solve complex problems by using the power of biological processes. And it includes biotechnological innovation or strategies that address the food and agricultural sector challenges. And it's also lifting up the biological process on bio-based components to promote sustainable and efficient agriculture industry, in the industrial, environmental food and ingredients production. So it's relevant for many different areas. So let's see the next. So why do we need biosolutions? You can say that all the crises we have of climate crisis and food crisis and biodiversity crisis and so forth, it all requires, it relates to biomaterials and to sustainable fashion and to sustainable food. We need to produce food in a more sustainable way, some clean energy and clean nature, and all that. That's biosolution. So biosolution can solve many of the crises and the challenges we are facing right now. So the next one.
Yes, I'm trying.
Okay.
So.
Yes. And I'm not going to read all this. I guess you will have the slides as a part of presentation afterwards, but these are examples of biosolutions. So you can say at least there's 4 areas here. There's the agricultural solutions, there's the food and ingredient solutions, and more industry are moving into that area because there's such a great need there. Then there's the environmental solutions and industrial solutions. And in the bottom, you can see some of the. Oh, now you're very fast, Kirsten.
Yes.
So in the bottom, you can see some of the companies that's relevant in these areas. That is difficult to see all of them, but these are companies that are mainly situated in Kalundborg. They are also situated in other places in Denmark, and of course internationally. Is not just a Danish thing. This biosolution, this is everywhere. But yeah, but the companies in Kalundborg, they are among the very best within the biosolutions, and that's where the need is, and at least the food and ingredient solution, industrial solutions, but also agricultural solutions and environmental solutions. That's what they're working with in Kalundborg. Yes. So how does it work? If you're looking at, you need, of course, some raw materials, and that can be as simple as sugar. It can be biomass such as crops, or it can be side streams, waste streams. And then you need some processes to convert these into products, and that's often microorganisms such as bacteria and yeast. so they can go in and do some fermentation, and it can be fermentation the traditional way, or it can be precision fermentation where produce new components using microorganisms, as you, for example, produce insulin and enzymes in the industry. And then there's output, and there's so many different valuable output. And therefore, it's also an area where there's a great need for innovation. So this education will also include a lot of innovation and collaboration across disciplines and also with other educations. And now we're so lucky that both DTU and we will be there, so there will be interactions between these educations as well. But I think Kirsten will come into that. And now first we will show a little video.
And I hope it comes up.
It does, if you're patient.
Ah, yes, just patience. Yes.
I want practice. I want to solve real problems. I want to put my hands into the problem and solving them.
I think it's nice that there's good job opportunities.
You already know Biosolutions. When you're drinking beer, when you're washing your clothes, and when you use soya in your food. All this is based on Biosolutions. Biosolutions is a new master program in Kalundborg. The master program is situated in Kalundborg because it has a close connection to the industry.
The biggest reason for which I chose Kalundborg is that it's next to the industry. Literally, the campus is in front of the industry.
You as a student will actually find guest lectures from industry, cases from the industry, and maybe also make your thesis in collaboration with the industry.
This gives big opportunities for a student job or internships or doing projects with the companies.
We need mechanical separation, so 1001. You can learn in the real world. You can go to the company and have a real experience.
My name is Sten Skærbeck, and I'm the head of our bulk production in Novozymes here in Kalundborg. Novozymes has been making enzyme solutions for the world for almost 50-60 years now. The biotech industry out here, they demand academic skills, and we really would like to see educations like this new one in Biosolutions being a success, because we can definitely use the candidates. If you're going to study here in Kalundborg, you can see that there will be a really good cooperation between the educations and the industry out here. We live in a form of symbiosis, so we are in the industry very interested in the students. If you really want to make it a more clean and a more climate-friendly future, I think Biosolutions is a very good place to be in a professional career.
My name is Jørgen Stryger. I'm the plant director here at CP We are a biotech company calling for candidates helping us develop our business in the future. The company here at CP working on extract pectin out of citrus peel. We can come with some topics, some tasks for the students so they can work directly on some of our challenges. It will bring them faster to our industry when they are ready for step out of the university.
I think Kalundborg is a very nice city to live in. I think it's nice that it's a little bit smaller, it's a bit more quiet.
I've always lived in capital cities, and what I like in Kalundborg is first of all the nature. It's something I really appreciate, that it's not far from Copenhagen because actually it's one direct train. And at the same time, you are so close to the sea, you can go to the forest, you can go to the center of Zealand.
I like exercising, and it gives me a peace of mind to be out in the nature. No matter where you are, almost, it's within a 5 or 10 minute bike ride, then you're out in very nice nature. Of course, there's not as much going on as in the big cities, but here you have opportunities to do a lot.
In breaks, I like to play ping pong.
Find someone that has his phone number. I participate in making events, both through, for example, IDA, the union, and we also have a group here supported by the municipality, Kalundborg Connect, where we make events for young people in Kalundborg.
The study environment in Kalundborg is really unique. I would say it's really a small community, really cozy. We have that kind of hygge that Danes call. we are not that many students, so it makes that we know each other a lot, I would say.
There's a close connection between both the students on your education and between the educations, so you will have good opportunities to get some new friends here if you are moving here.
So it's a video, and I just have to go back. And the next part of this introduction to the new education will be more on the education itself. And I just need to hide the bar here, so you see the full screen. Then this education will, as Anna also explained, will have the knowledge of the production organism. It will have more biology in this one. You still need to know something about the process and liquid technologies, the biorefining, the fermentation technology as well. And nothing today is without data science. All data from the production need to go into it, see if you can optimize it. So you need to know something about data science as well. The biological systems from raw material to the production host will be important, and also the quality of the output, the production you would have would go into these ones. And then we go much more also into the cross-disciplinary competences. You need to be able to work together with other people, also across different disciplines as well. Food safety, sustainability will be a part of it as well. And we, in this education, we have a 45 ECS thesis, which we very much encourage to be in collaboration with the companies. So, and all of it, of course, research-based as well. This can be a bit confusing, but you will be sent out to you and you have time to look at it. It's just to say that the Master in Biosolutions will be an expert in understanding and using these biological systems and organisms for the industrial processes. And if you kind of look at this one, you can see that you have the biological production systems. You know about the organisms, the building blocks, enzymes, also the compounds, and you'll be able to choose the right organism and for the optimal process you want to know. And here you also need to have the knowledge of the raw material. The raw material will go into the process as well. How is it fermented? What enzymes you're going to use? You need to have an understanding of experimental from experiments to upscaling. Also to understand the parameters which you need to analyze through this process and also after the process. And this will also go into some of the rope technology which is needed for tomorrow as well. So from the production system, the process which goes to it, and then the product, there will be, of course, also understanding of the downstream processing as well. Understand the needed product, how to design a process for the production, quality, and also understand how to use the side streams, or in other words, how to use waste from one production actually as a raw material for another one to go into circularity for these ones. All this will also need an understanding of how you would have quality assessed, the biosafety, and also how would you apply for if you're going to use GMO organisms, and how would you actually work with GMO organisms and how the product not be these ones. And that's kind of the basic scientific of these ones. On the side, all the way through, there will be kind of data management for optimization, modeling, and also to follow the process and the quality. Sustainable products also have the understanding of sustainability, besides the circularity, to know how to calculate these measures as well, to make an LCA, and also have generic competences, communicate with other professional groups, have the innovations part of these ones, project management, and some of the stakeholders also very much want you to kind of understand the customer, that the legal setup are different internationally looking. So that means also an insight in QA, QC, and know of the IPR values as well. So this is kind of another overview where we put in the courses of these ones. So if you look at the raw mass and the biomass as well, we have the first course in Biosolution Industrial Applications, where you get the terminology and also go to look at the biomass setup as well. And that goes hand in hand also to have the bioprocess engineering, where you go to start to understand from the biomass to raw material to the process organism, how it converts it, how are the mass balances of these ones. and then you go through the host and fermentations, and then you have the downstream processing. All these ones will be supported by a course in data handling and analysis. You can also choose between the sustainable processing production systems or a quality assessment legislation, where you go through from idea, innovation, IPR to the product, what are the legislation you need to know of and be able to communicate about. And for the innovation part, we will have 2 different case-based projects. One would go more into the production systems, advanced production system, where you go into industry to optimize a production line, or applying biosolutions. As Anna mentioned, biosolutions goes in so many directions that you could have a case and develop something totally different, which goes maybe more to agriculture, or still in industry, to the food sector, or into the environment. So this is how we picture our structure for the 2 years this master program actually will follow. And at UCPH, we are have courses in blocks. Each blocks normally have 2 courses, each which is 7.5 ECS. And 2 blocks is kind of what is equal to a semester. And the first 6 courses here will be mandatory. And then in block 4, year 1, and block 2, year 2, you are able to choose yourself. 2 of them will be restricted elective courses, meaning that's a list of courses where you need to have 2 from this list. And the other one is elective courses, where you can choose. You can have courses at DTU, at UCPH, or other universities, but that's your choice which course you would like to supplement your education with. And then over 3 blocks, 45 ECS, you will have your thesis work with experiments, and also write these one up. And hopefully that will be in collaboration with the industry. So also what Martina showed up, that the campus will be just here, just beside all the industry. And that's the most quite interesting, that having a campus surrounded with all these interesting companies, and also what their thoughts about this circularity and symbiosis, which we will benefit from having education in campus in the Biotech City. So why Kalundborg? Well, it's industry collaboration. There's jobs opportunities. There will be a nice study environment and community with all these educations which are collectively ones, and that's across professions. So industry, well, the courses will be taught in collaboration with the biotech industry. There will be guest lectures. You can also make project and cases with the industry of these ones. And as you can heard, Novozymes and CB Calgon mentioned, your expertise will be much in demand. The biosolution area is growing the next couple of years, and they really demand to have academic educated candidates. So there's really a growing need for candidates also in biosolutions. Study environment, well, it's a growing international study environment. You heard Absalon already have an international study line. There's DTU, there's actually also the architect school, which also has started last year with education in Kalundborg. Others will come as well. There's also the process school, which is up there already. And you also, if you follow the whole online, you also mentioned the Helix Lab, where there can be a fellow with a master's program for these ones. So we are starting this year. So you pioneer, also be part of shaping the study environment, being a tutor for new ones, being part of arranging together with other students, both international and Danish students. And you'll meet all the other students from exciting and new degree programs as well. And as you saw also in the small video, there is a nice community, the municipality as well. The campus is close to the city center and nature. There's a lot of activities possible in Kalundborg. You can be active in sports. There's a harbor. There's also community kitchen, city walks, reading clubs. And here's one in the SIMP, which is the Kalundborg's Community and Entrepreneurial Center of actually here. So there's a lot of activities also outside your study. So what about the application admission? Well, applicants will need to have a bachelor degrees within biology, production technology, food science technology, and or in combination with biotechnology from Danish, Nordic, or international universities. We have listed here what is needed. You will need to have a knowledge of a biological systems. That could be microorganisms or plants. You could also need to have biochemistry, organic chemistry, biotechnology methods, and statistic and mathematics. We are not counting hours, but just maybe to have a correlation with some of the others. 7.5 ECTS corresponds to 206 hours. And then you need to have experimental laboratory courses. And that is a minimum of 30 ECTS. Please do not regard these as a single course. You need to have these ones. They can be across several courses. You just need to state how much it was in each course of these ones. And especially for the lab exercise, that could go across several courses, these ones. And that goes also for the statistics and the mathematics and the methods and the other ones. So please state how many hours did you have in total through the different courses you had in the bachelor degree. So study start will be in September. And unfortunately, yes, the non-EUs had a application time 15 January. If you have any question for this one, please contact our student service. And for the rest, the EU, the EIA, and Switzerland and Danes, the application deadline is March 1st, and it is open already now. And please say yes or no thanks to when you get it offered, because then you can actually have others on the waiting list coming in. So this is kind of the short version of the Biosolutions. You can read more on the homepage on UCPH. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me as the head of studies or contact our students service, where link is here. You can also call them and then they can ask questions regarding the admission. So any questions?
Yeah, and we didn't say it before. I wrote it there, but I will just mention again if someone arrived later, is that questions should be put in the Q&A function at the bottom. Then we will take the questions. There came one. No admission for non-EU student this time of the year. Only EU intake?
Yes, the deadline was January 15. But if you have anything there, please contact our student service, see if they can guide you and help you if there's anything to do there. But they are the ones handling the admission.
Yep.
And Kirsten, I think we forgot to include the link to the study, or can I just not see it?
Yes, but we can add that before
Yeah.
Luna gets it.
Yeah,
So
and
you
I can say that when you get the recordings out, there will be links for each program as well, and contact information in that mail too.
Okay.
You have the menu in the middle there, Kirsten.
Yes, I'll just move it just to make sure that I didn't miss any questions.
Yes.
I want to say it's a new program, and we find it very exciting to start actually a new program in Kalundborg. So it's a pioneer. You're going to be able to also really help us to develop this education as well. And you will have this kind of biological insight together with the technology. And at the moment, we are two departments which are the main drivers. These ones, Anna Haldrup is coming from our food science, and I'm coming from the plant and the environmental science department, which is situated in Frederiksberg. But we're looking forward to go to Kalundborg to teach in this new education.
Yeah.
And as Martin mentioned, there's still not new buildings up there. We are in the process of designing these buildings where both DTU and us and other educations can be. So we will probably teach at some of the labs and so forth at Absalon, but we will also have to rent some other space or other space. So it will be pioneers. We will all be pioneers. And that can be fun as well.
It can be fun, and I can add to that, as told, that Absalon, we started in 2017, being pioneers, and that was also starting in shared rooms, you can say, and shared labs around in the city. but it all went so fast. So the first crowd ending there also experienced how fast things are actually going in Kalundborg, both with facilities and the company's interest, etc. So we are really looking forward to invite you in.
We're
Yeah.
very happy with the collaboration with Absalon, I think.
Yeah.
So I think there's a question now. That's very academic, I think.
I just.
So it's not. I think it's easier you read it, Kirsten.
Yes.
Say
Yeah.
it.
Then I have it in the middle at the moment.
Yep. That's okay. We've seen the other one.
Well, it would be both. We will have the fermentation line and the fermentation host course will focus on both microbial cells, but also to include plants and algae to actually produce bio-based products. We need to focus on a few host organisms, and then there'll be opportunities actually in some of the project-based courses also go really into the plants as well. We have one of our course partners, Sune, is actually working with plants for biorefining, and he's be heading one of the courses to how can you use actually plants to make, for example, energy or other bio-based products. So it will be included as well. But there will be a lot of fermentation as well, but also biorefining of the plants as well. We have a colleague, well, actually both Anna and I have a colleague, both departments, which works with algae as well. So there will also be algae as well included. Animals as such, we do not have that much in Kalundborg, but in your electric course, we have courses at KU, which actually include animals and how to use animals as a model.
Thank you. Any other questions? And as you can hear, that it can be a lot of sorts of question here.
Yes, but that's good. That's good.
So.
But I think this is an example that there's also room for elective courses, and you can take elective courses at DTU also. You can also choose, and DTU students can choose to take elective courses with us. So there will be several possibilities.
Yeah. Which is also good. Then the students meet across different education, and I think that's also very good to make it kind of cross-disciplinary, having each angle when students meet in courses from different educations.
And something we would really like to do, and what the companies are asking us to, is also that if our students from Technical University and from University of Copenhagen can work on the same challenge, and then make 2 individual master projects, but do it together and try to solve the same problem, that will be very beneficial for the industry, and I think could be fun for the students as well. But it requires some coordination. But we would like to make it happen.
Well, it's just a question if it's possible to start now when you're new. I would really direct you to the student service to hear if there's any possibilities, because they're much more into the medicine than Anna and I am. We are more the research and scientific part of it. They would know if there's any possibilities at all. And I think just as did you and the other ones, for the admissions, there's so many rules and regulations. So that's better to ask the persons who really know all the regulations instead of we are giving the wrong answer here.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can direct you if you don't know where to ask, then I think you can still approach us. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course.
No, okay, med Danish, tak.
That's good to start to have Danish.
Yeah. Yeah, and as you told, you are for EU citizen, etc. They can apply now. The same thing about DTU. The portals are open, and I can say from Absalon that our thing is not opening until the 1st of February, but so next week, if someone said that Optale City wasn't working, that's the reason. That's when you apply for a bachelor degree. It's in another system.
We opened for admission the February 16th.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, January 16th, not February yet.
Yeah. Yeah. So, any other questions? There's something about the admission procedure. Yeah.
Yes, but if you have any problems with the admission procedure, actually there are online webinars which can help you through, and there will be one just coming up where you can actually participate and then ask all the questions and get help how to actually apply.
Is that something you can see on your webpage, Kirsten?
Yes, you can. There's open house again, which is for all the master education at UCPH. And you can see on the homepage when it's open for each of the programs.
But I think this program is not more complex than any other program. Is it an ordinary 2-year master education? But of course,
the
to
admission
go to another country is always complicated. But yeah.
I can see here it's on February the 9th. There's open house for our master programs, and there's also our student service available where you can ask all the questions and they will help how to apply.
I don't know if I can maybe cut in and just say that I think the application, I won't say it's the same procedure, but I think a lot of people from overseas or from EU think that once you've if you don't have the right documentation ready, or if you send the wrong documentation, maybe you will get a rejection. I think it's the same with Copenhagen University and DTU and Absalon. When you send your application, there will be somebody handling the application process. So if they need more documentation, they will contact you. So it's just because sometimes people think that if they do the wrong thing, they will get a rejection. I think it's the same with DTU and KU, that if there is any documentation needed, we will contact you and we will let you know. So don't worry so much about the process. I think everybody will try to guide you through it, through that process. So just send your application, DTU, KU or Absalon, and we will guide you through that process and let you know if we need anything from you. I'm guessing it's the same with DTU.
Yeah, and also we also have a conditional uptake. If you didn't finish your bachelor yet, you don't have to have it finished when you apply. But of course, when you start, I think it's a deadline in September, as mentioned, then it's okay still. Just apply and then just prove that you are a bachelor student, just going to finish your bachelor study as well. So and then you'll be conditionally uptaken. That's the same for the students we have in Denmark. They are not finished yet. They will finish here at summer, but they apply now and just write in the conditions, and then they just have to show that they passed the bachelor later.
Yes. So, any last questions here? Then it's time.
Then I just...
Yeah, you can stop sharing.
Stop sharing. No.
Right. And still some left here. Any last minute questions? Else we will end today's virtual event. And thank you all for joining. It was great, and it was a first time for all of us also doing this joint venture here. But we thought it made so good sense because a lot is going on in Biotech City. Huge investments are being done by huge world-leading companies these years, needing you there as new employees with great ideas and competencies within these fields. Oh, that's a question. That was a thank you. You're welcome. That's also nice. and great to see that people sticked around for these hours. So we will wave on, and again, as told, this has been recorded. There will go a mail out with contact information with link for this video to revisit, and feel free to contact us where you are interested to know more. So thank you for today, and have a nice evening. Bye-bye.
Bye.